to neutral policy or practice that have an unequal impact on members of a protected class, unless the school can show that the practice or policy is necessary to achieve a substantial, legitimate, or non-discriminatory interest. Let me stop right there real quick. What they just said, even if you're suspending black children for the same reasons you suspend white children, even if you suspend black children for the same reasons you suspend Jewish children, if the impact on the black community is worse, that still counts as discrimination against black students. Do y'all follow that? So even if they say, we treat your son like we treat everybody else, New Jersey is saying that's no longer good enough. Because if the black children are being suspended more, even if you claim you're treating everyone the same, if the statistics show more black kids are being suspended or expelled, even if you claim equality of application, it is still racial discrimination. That is important because that means New Jersey is the only state I know of that gives you the grounds to accuse the school of racial discrimination as to how they suspend and discipline your child. Y'all need to know that because I'm sure the school isn't telling you that. I'm sure they didn't send this home last week either. So you need to know that you have an extra protection against racial discrimination when it comes to discipline in black children. Let me continue. Finally, as to both disparate treatment and disparate impact, the guidance explains what school administrators in New Jersey should do to ensure that their discipline policy and practice comply with the LAD law, including they must review school disciplinary policy, they must collect, monitor, and review all discipline data to identify disparities based on race, national origin, gender, sexual orientation, or disability. Fully investigating any allegation related to possible disparate discipline. Did y'all hear that? They must fully, if you make a complaint that your child or our children in New Jersey, whether it's Newark, whether it's Camden, whether it's Trenton, whether it's Patterson, if you say, I believe you are discriminating on this particular policy issue when it comes to black children, they have to fully investigate your charge. They cannot ignore you. They cannot say you don't know what you're talking about. They can't say you black people are too sensitive. The law says if you make an allegation of racial discrimination in school discipline, the school must investigate your complaint. Powerful. Let me continue. They must solicit feedback from students, parents, employees, and the community about discipline disparity, school climate, and they must require all school employees responsible for disciplining that student to receive non-discrimination training. So if there's a teacher, hallway monitor, classroom assistant that you feel is playing a role in the unfair discipline of your child, that person has to be trained. Non-discriminatory training, which is nonsense, we know, but nonetheless, because you can't train nobody out of being a racist, right? You can't train nobody out of being a racist, but nonetheless, they're requiring that. Also, they must research any new discipline policy or practice before adopting them to determine whether research indicates that they are likely to have disparate impact. In other words, if the principal says, we have a new discipline strategy, a new discipline technique, a new discipline practice in New Jersey, you can ask them, have you researched this technique? this new policy in other states around the country to see if it leads to disproportionate impact with black children. You now have a right to ask them, did you research this discipline policy? Let me continue. And because this is 22 pages, I'm only going to read a little bit more, but I'm going to give you my phone number. If you want me to email you the document, just text me your email address and I will email the document. And I recommend you read and study all 22 pages. In fact, Queen Mother, what we can do is hold another training like we did before, just on this, and I can come and break down all 22 pages for parents who want that. We can do that. So let me read a little bit more. Our schools in New Jersey bear unique responsibility for ensuring that all students are able to thrive in their school environment. For years, however, here in New Jersey, the burdens imposed by school discipline have fallen much harder on some students than others. Based on the most recent available data, New Jersey black students are being suspended 3.3 times more than white and Latino students in the state of New Jersey. And black students in New Jersey are being suspended 1.5 times more the rate of white students. Studies have consistently shown students of different race do not misbehave at a different rate. Did y'all hear that? Students of different race do not misbehave at a different rate. But black students are more likely to be disciplined for their misbehavior and disciplined more severely for the same conduct as other children. Despite federal and New Jersey law intended to protect students with disabilities from discipline for disability-caused behavior, New Jersey students in special ed are being suspended 1.7 times the rate of their non-disabled peers. In other words, if your child is in special ed, and I need y'all to get this, especially since the school year is just starting, a special ed child can only be suspended 10 total days out the entire school year. I'm gonna say this again. If you have a child with an IEP, I hope you're listening. In the United States of America, if your child has an IEP, I don't care if it's for speech, I don't care if it's for autism, I don't care if it's for emotional disturbance, I don't care if it's for hearing. If your child has an IEP, which means they are special ed, which means they are disabled, they can only be suspended 10 total days. From September to August. It is your job as a black parent to keep a record of the suspensions. If your child is suspended 2 days in September, the school only has 8 days left. If your child is suspended 2 days in November, the school only has 6 days left. Your child gets a day in December, the school got 5 days left. Your child gets a 3-day suspension in February, they got 2 days left. Your child gets another 2 days in May, they have no days left. They cannot be suspended an 11th day unless the IEP team meets, conducts a manifestation determination and agrees, which requires your signature as mother. It requires your signature as daddy. It requires your signature as guardian. If you don't sign that paper, they cannot suspend your special ed child any more days. But let me tell you what happens in New Jersey, and Pennsylvania, and New York. The principal is not recording the official suspension days. Did y'all hear what I just said? Because the principal knows he or she only has 10. So what they do is they call you and they say, Miss Roxanne, Raheem is having a bad day in school today. How about you come pick him up early and we won't suspend him? You think they're doing you a favor. They're not looking out for you. They're looking out for themselves because they only get 10 days. Now, when you come and pick Raheem up, early dismissal, it does not count as a removal from school. So some of you have children who've been suspended 30 days, 20 days, 15 days, but because you signed them out as an early dismissal, it does not count, so you can't hold the school responsible. If you have a special ed child, never sign them out. They say we're going to suspend them, go ahead, suspend them. Because once they get to 10 days, you're going to contact Dr. Umar. We're going to file a due process complaint against your child's school district, and we can make your child's school district pay for your child to go to one of these private New Jersey schools at public expense, and we can prove that they are discriminating against your disabled child by suspending them more than what the law allows. Does everybody understand? Now, if your child is not special ed, they can be suspended 10 days every incident. Did y'all hear that? I'm a 12th grader, and we hate black people public school, West Newark. I got into a fight, I can get 10 days. I cursed at the teacher, I can get another 10 days. I got caught writing graffiti on the wall, another 10 days. I can be suspended 10 days every time I get suspended if I do not have an IEP. If I have an IEP, they can only suspend me 10 days total for the whole year. Do y'all see the difference? So this is what I want to say about that. Some of you have children who should not be in special ed. They are there for behavior which is illegal. But if your son is a badass child, I'm gonna keep it a buck. If your son is a badass child, although he does not need special ed, I might counsel you to keep him in special ed. You know why? Because if we remove him the next day, he no longer has IEP protection. The next time he does something significant, he could be expelled the very next day. Do y'all feel me? So if the child is bad, leave his ass in there. I'm serious, because you're looking at the difference between an IEP and a school expulsion. IEP and going to jail. IEP and discipline school. So if I got to choose between IEP and expulsion, I'm going to choose IEP. I need y'all to understand that, okay? Let me continue. I'm going to read one more piece, and then I'm going to go into a few things and take a few questions. So, these statistics provide powerful evidence that too many schools are not living up to their obligation to provide each and every student with an education without discriminating on the basis of race, national origin, or disability. Let me fast forward real quick, because there was a section, New Jersey law against discrimination. Make sure you quote that. New Jersey law against discrimination. Whenever you make a complaint about your son being criminalized, racially profiled, and targeted, make sure you say the New Jersey LAD, New Jersey law against discrimination, does not allow for you to racially profile my son. Make sure you quote the law. New Jersey law against discrimination. Where's the last piece at? And then I'm going to leave this. Here we go. Last piece. I skipped over some pages, but you're going to email me for the whole document. To ensure that discipline policies and practices comply with the New Jersey law against discrimination's prohibition against disparate impact discrimination, school administrators should ensure that all employees responsible for disciplining students receive regular training on the non-discriminatory enforcement of school discipline policy. They should research new discipline policy or practice before adopting them. Did y'all hear that? They should research before they implement the new policy. Also, they should monitor school disciplinary data for disparities based on race and other differences. The Division of Civil Rights and the Department of Education of New Jersey expect all New Jersey boards of education to be aware and familiar with this document and with the requirements that the law against discrimination imposes with respect to school discipline. Now, if you as a parent want to make a complaint, give me 1 second, I'm looking for that. If you want to make a complaint against your child's school for unfair and racially biased discipline practices, you are to contact the New Jersey Division of Civil Rights in Trenton, New Jersey. Does everybody understand that? You can now complain. You can make a complaint against the discipline at your child's school by contacting the New Jersey Division of Civil Rights in Trenton, New Jersey. So now, New Jersey parents, you have an extra weapon that you can use in your fight against school discipline discrimination. Does everybody understand that? So y'all need to start writing, y'all need to start documenting, y'all need to start recording, and every time you make a complaint, always mention the law. New Jersey law against discrimination. Now, with that being said, a couple of tips. Special ed parents, make sure you know the date of your child's next IEP. IEPs must be redone every 365 days. If your special ed child had an IEP November the 1st of 2022, their next IEP is due November of 2023. Also, your child must be reevaluated every 3 years if they have an IEP. If your child was evaluated and classified as autistic in 2021, they must be reevaluated in 2024. There is one exception. If your child is intellectually disabled, that means an IQ score lower than 70. Intellectual disabled, IQ score under 70, they must be reevaluated every 24 months. Please make a note of that. Intellectual disability, formerly known as mental retardation, those children must be reevaluated every 24 months. Next point, regular ed parents. Even if you don't think your child belongs in special ed, if they do something really bad that could get them expelled from school, I want you to remember this rule. In special education law, a child who is thought to be disabled has the same protection as a child found to be disabled. I'm gonna repeat that. This is a very powerful tool that y'all need to use. I'm gonna say it again. School officials officials have said to you, we think Raheem got a reading disability. We think Roxanne got a speech problem. We think your grandson got emotionally disturbed. We think your granddaughter got a math disability. If the school ever tells you they think your child has a disability, make a note of that. Date, time, and place, and who said it. Date, time, and place, and who said it. Why? If your son gets into a big situation that could get him expelled from school, guess what? They won't be able to do it because you're going to remind the principal that you told me 4 weeks ago that you thought my son needed special ed help. Now, you don't think he needed, but that don't matter. You said you think my son needs special ed. That automatically means he cannot be suspended more than 10 days. Did y'all hear what I just said? Until he is evaluated and found not to have a disability. Until he is evaluated and found not to have a disability, he has the same protection as every special ed kid in the school, even though he is not special ed. Did y'all hear what I just said? Keep note of that. Next point. For those of you who have very intelligent African children, all of our children are intelligent, but we have some very intelligent African children. If you think your child is talented, if you think your child is gifted, make sure they get formally evaluated for the mentally gifted program and or talented program in New Jersey. Also, for those of you who have high school children, get them in college prep and get them in the AP courses, unless they are lazy. Don't put a lazy, bright black child in AP or college prep, because if their grades drop, they will not get those scholarships. Do you understand me? Only put them in AP if you know they are going to apply themselves. I don't care how smart your son is. He can have a 150 IQ, but if that boy is lazy, why did you sign him up for college prep? His grades are going to drop. He's going to lose his scholarship. Next point. There's a lot of books being put in the school library that are being pushed by that flag. But if you look down on the ground, you see the flag. Everybody see the flag they painted because they knew I would be here today, right? I want you all to know that you have a right to challenge the textbooks that are coming into your child's school. Most of you don't know what the textbooks have in them because you don't open them. Some schools don't let the children bring them home. I want you to know there's no New Jersey law that says your child cannot bring the books home. That was a school district policy. And if you don't like the school district policy, you can change the school district policy by going to the what? School board meeting. By a show of hands, how many of you have been to a school board meeting in the past 6 months? Only 5. That's not good, because everything Newark, New Jersey schools plans to do is approved at the meeting and it is announced at the meeting. So if you are not at Newark, New Jersey schools, Montclair schools, Jersey City schools, Elizabeth, Trent, Camden, Willingboro, Atlantic City, if you don't go to the school board meeting, you don't know what's going on, you don't see what's being passed, and you can't do anything about it. Start going to the school board meetings if you care about your children. Now, I don't know if Sister Kalia is here from the Montclair chapter of the NIBPA. Is that Kalia back there? Nah. We have a chapter of my organization, National Independent Black Parent Association, Montclair, New Jersey. We need a couple of Newark, New Jersey chapters. If there's anyone here who is serious about helping us fight against racism in Newark schools, or if you're in Union or Elizabeth or Patterson or Jersey City, we need them everywhere. If you are interested in starting a chapter, helping Dr. Umar organize black parents so we can fight back until we have FDMG academies all over New Jersey, please get in touch with me. There's 7 committees in every Black Parent Association chapter. Special Education Committee, to investigate special ed fraud, to investigate special ed abuse, to investigate how they spending your child's special ed money. Homeschooling, for parents who want to homeschool, we want to organize you into a homeschool network. If we work together, everybody can do a little bit and all the children can learn. So if you are ready to homeschool your children with other serious parents, test. Let me know. Next chapter, parent advocacy. I will train some of you to go with parents to the meetings. This means you are an expert in the law. You are an expert in the policy. I'm going to train you on it. I'm going to teach you on it. We're going to become masters, and you go with the parent as their advocate. We need our own advocates. We cannot trust the school district advocates because they are double agents. Do you understand? When they assign you somebody,